welcome back to GTV. I am here with
Aaron Sawatsky Kingsley.
He's going to tell us about his new program, which is, would you like to tell us about it?
I would. And actually, it's a program that we've been doing for 6 years, since the pandemic, actually. The pandemic was the first year that we did this. And what it is that I'm talking about is giving trees away to all graduating seniors at the high school. So this is the 6th year that we've done this. We order a whole bunch of trees from the Indiana State Nursery. Believe it or not, the state has a nursery, and so we get these bare root trees. They're usually about this big, and we wrap them up in a plastic bag to keep the roots from drying out, and then we give them to seniors to take home and plant as a way to kind of commemorate and celebrate all the hard work of getting through kindergarten and elementary and middle school or junior high or intermediate and then high school.
Wow. You know, I'm taking an environmental science class right now, and I heard that, I think in one of our first units we were talking about the fact that Goshen wants to have like a wider variety of trees, and so does this go part with it? Yeah,
this is excellent. What a great question. So you may know that Goshen has a nickname, the Maple City, which is a wonderful thing because maple trees are excellent trees. But what we have learned is that it's also really important to have a diversity of trees. That is a bunch of different species, because if you have only maple, for instance, what would happen if a disease or a pest or a bug? The emerald ash borer.
Yeah, exactly.
Excellent. That's right. That came through and wiped out all of our ash trees. What if that happened to our maple trees?
And we'd have no more trees.
That's right. I mean, we're like 50% maple, so that would be a big deal. So we're trying to diversify what we can grow and go.
Yeah. So I think it's very important for all the seniors. It's obviously, we're not threatening you. There's no guns being held, but I think it's both like very meaningful to, in a way, like have your own tree that kind of like grows along with you, but also because we need a higher biodiversity, that's the word, in Goshen, since we have so many maples. But yes, I think that's why we're having this project done.
That's exactly right. So for instance, this year, as a senior, you can receive an American plum tree, I'm looking at my notes, a black gum tree, a white oak tree, a pecan tree, or a persimmon tree. So you may notice that there are no maples listed there, and that's because we're trying to diversify, biodiversity.
Exactly. Let me see if I think, is there any like specific areas that you have to plant these, or is it like something that you could take home or like go to a park?
You can certainly take them home. That's the intention, is to take them home, or if there is another private property space that you have access to or your family has access to plant the tree. If you don't have a place like that, because not everybody does, and we recognize that, we have some places that we can plant trees, these trees for you. But we really want seniors. We're encouraging seniors to talk with their parents, talk with their families, think about places that they could plant these trees into the city, because the largest amounts of space that are available for trees to be planted in the city are on private property. That's because that's where most of the property is in the city. It's private, not public. So this is a great way to get trees.
Yeah. Another thing that I also learned, I've become a professional for this, because once again, taking environmental science, and we had a whole unit on this. If you're I think I learned that actually having trees around your house can actually help with cost, because it can help with if you have, you know what the word is for a tree that loses its leaves in the winter? There's a word for it.
Yeah, a deciduous tree?
Yeah, deciduous.
Yes.
If you plant one of those near your house, it can help with heating, cooling, and I think it also helps with energy, since you don't have to use so much on heating and cooling your house. They're also very aesthetically pleasing, so if you want to get a tree that's really cute, you can also do that. As you said. And I'm trying to remember, they also help with keeping the ground more stable, so it'll probably keep your grass healthier. Those are just some of the other things I know. Is there anything else that trees help with?
Yeah, so this is excellent. I'm so glad that you're bringing this up. I'm impressed with your knowledge base.
Thank you.
This is great.
That's why I wanted to interview.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, you're absolutely right that trees can cut our cooling costs in the summer, especially, right, because of the shade that they provide onto a house or even onto a business or something like that. So having the shade there, just protects the building from sunlight, and that means that we don't spend nearly as much money on electricity for air conditioning. And in the winter, the presence of the trees can help to block cold winter winds, and that can reduce the amount of energy that we have to spend to keep our houses warm
And then
in
when
winter.
the trees lose their leaves, then they'll also let more sunlight in.
That's right, so that you get that passive solar kind of heat gain in your house. One of the things that people may be concerned about is extra leaves that come from those deciduous trees that lose their leaves in the fall. And so what we are working at encouraging people is, well, think about maybe instead of raking all the leaves up, maybe mulch them with a lawnmower, because that just breaks them into tiny pieces that
then
will...
it keeps your ground healthier.
That's right.
Yeah.
They'll decompose into the soil, keep the nutrients and the minerals right there. It's healthier for your soil. So you don't have to add fertilizers and stuff to your soil. So you can save more money that way. Or maybe just find a little square in the back of your yard where you can just dump all those leaves and let them just kind of decompose naturally, and then you've got some nice compost soil that you can put in your flower bed or something like that.
And as I also mentioned, they do keep the ground much more sturdy, because the roots, they kind of make a area for the grass, like an area for the ground to stay steady, and it also helps with erosion.
Yes.
And another thing I learned, I love sharing this stuff because I know it. Another thing that I learned is that trees, as I said, keep the ground stable, and when there's any kind of fertilizer runoff, or even the ground itself gets into the river that causes water pollution, other places are already struggling with water, and so this is a big environmental plus for everybody. 'Cause it can help with
Exactly.
everything that we're struggling with.
That is so right. Trees are able to capture so much stormwater and hold it and keep it from running off, and to stabilize the soil. These are extremely important reasons that we should have trees in our city, around our homes, in our yards.
And then the biggest one I think everybody knows is that they also purify the air, and we also have a lot of farms, and so I think it's very important for us to have as many trees as we can around to keep the air clean.
Yes. Air quality is extremely important. That's right.
So I think that this is why it's so important for all of us to maybe not, let me think, I forgot what I was going to say. But I think it's very important that we all, take action in planting a tree, because it helps everybody.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So if you're a senior, you'll see something like this, I believe, delivered to you in your email, or you may see it in your English class, or posted around the school. But this will allow you as a senior to choose a tree that you want, a little QR code here where you can actually sign up for it, and then we'll be distributing these trees later on in May.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to share?
Man, you covered it all. You did all the hard work for me.
Well, you
Thank
did
you so
too. I
much.
mean, you're the one with all the knowledge. We're working together.
This is
Anyway,
great.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Forgot the word.
Thank you for letting me come in and tell everybody about this.
Of course. I think cut. I think we're good.